Hey everybody, Essence here. And today I am titling this video, Awareness of the Problem Doesn't Heal It. Okay, I am Essence Turner, your spiritual life coach. I help women to break through heavy, stuck emotions, embrace self love, and embody your most abundant self. All right, so let's dive into the video. So, people will think that being aware of the problem like heals it and you're done with it and it makes it go away. And sometimes I guess that could be true. And then a lot of times it's not true. And that's one of the experiences I've had in my life and I have and my clients have. And so I just recently had this experience again. So a couple months ago, I did a group hypnosis and in the hypnosis, we went back to some very specific events to show us the root cause of some issues. And so we went back to cause of confidence problems, cause of self-esteem problem, cause of money issues. And so my money issue, I remember very vividly that memory. I was sitting in front of the TV on the floor, cross-legged, and there were antennas up on the TV, which signaled to me that the cable was off and we were using the antennas to get some channels. And so, in that moment, in that memory, I had a very deep sense of feeling like a burden and that it was my fault that the cable was off because, like mom is struggling to take care of the bills because she has to take care of me. And so, that memory came to the surface. And I asked my mom about it the next day, and she told me, yes, that happened several times. And that very next day, there was a lot of emotion going through my body. Mainly, it felt like grief just passing through. So it was almost like, energy moving through from that memory. It bubbled up to the surface. I was aware of feeling like a burden. I was also able to relate to many times in my adult life, like not wanting to be a burden. So maybe not asking for certain things that I want to ask for because I don't want to be a burden. And even in my relationship, like sometimes not ordering what I want because I don't want to feel like a burden. And he never treats me like that. I mean, it's something silly like not getting a bigger fry or a drink because I'm like, I don't want to be a burden. Right. So, but I never really dove into that and definitely hadn't like traced it back. So it was amazing to have this awareness of where that came from. So I spent the day just kind of letting myself feel how I felt, which again was like grief just going through my body. I was very kind and gentle. And I thought that, it was done. I was aware of the issue, like it was done. Then in a healing session for myself, my inner child, like this, what I needed to work on that day was that memory. So it was like 3 months later, this was just a couple weeks ago, this part that I'm about to tell you about happened. So I'm going into the healing session, and then the memory bubbles up, and like my inner child or intuition is like, you need to work on that memory of you in front of the TV. And I'm thinking like, well, I already know about it, and like I felt my grief the next day, so like, but okay, I'll explore it. I don't really question things like that. I'm always open to exploring to see what's underneath, what feelings, thoughts are underneath it. So I go, I'm telling, about the memory. I'm like, I went through a group hypnosis, and then it took me back to this memory. It was when I was 6 years, and I just started like ugly crying, like ugly, snotty crying. I could not even get the words out. It took about 10 minutes to even fully tell just that 30-second or less memory. There was so much emotion, pain, and shame behind feeling like a burden. I had no clue was there. And so this is what happens. We become aware of certain things like, oh, I have daddy issues. Oh, I have abandonment issues, right? Oh, this is my attachment style or whatever. Like we become aware of these things, but then we don't do the deeper work behind it, meaning pulling back the curtains and seeing what emotions are there, what limiting beliefs that are accompanying that memory or that experience. And so I was then able to work through and process and help heal myself and heal my inner child around feeling like a burden. And then I had the most perfect opportunity to really step into allowing myself to be a burden and be okay with being a burden. And I actually think I want to make that into a separate video, because sometimes we can be a burden, especially if you have certain issues, and like just allowing that to be okay. So I want to talk about that separately. But so I had that awareness, I worked through the emotions, and then I was able to step in to being okay with sometimes I am a burden. I have some dietary issues, and sometimes I'm a burden. It's a burden to like feed me. And so when you become aware of things, I just want you to know that doesn't always heal it. The behaviors may still be there. And one place that I see this is with women who have, let's say, like abandonment issues, and they maybe have gone to therapy and they know all the jargon about abandonment issues and what their dad's issues were, and again their attachment styles, but they haven't really fully processed the emotions. So then they still keep getting into the same types of relationships or allowing people to treat them the same way because they haven't done the deeper work of processing the emotions that come with abandonment issues, right? And or look at the limiting beliefs, or even work through the limiting, because they may know, like, oh, I because of my dad's stuff, I know that I think I'm unworthy or that I'm not enough. So they have that awareness, but haven't done the work to like bust those beliefs up. And it's not until you do that deeper work that you're like able to take different actions to be a different version of yourself. So when you do go out to get into a relationship or a new friendship or a new job, you are different on the inside, and therefore that dynamic with the other person or job is different. Okay, so I just wanted to remind you of that, because there's a lot of people out there that are aware of the problem but still carrying out some of the same behaviors. And that is because awareness of the problem does not always heal it. You may need to dig in and dive deeper into actually healing and processing the emotions of belief that come with that memory or experience. And so, if you are the woman that is ready to let go, work through, break through the past, heal those issues, do the deeper work so that you can love yourself, accept yourself, feel emotionally free, and find your joy, then I would like to invite you to book a consult with me. You can go to essenceturner.com and learn more about who I work with and what it is that I do, because I love what I do. Yesterday I was working on, I did a single session, which I don't hardly do, but I did a single session yesterday, and she's like, I'm sorry to give you all this heavy stuff. And I'm like, this is just a normal Tuesday afternoon for me. Like, this is what I do. I love helping women break through and release things, because it really does help you become a new and different version of yourself. It's my greatest joy to do this work. So if you are feeling called to go on your healing journey and become this newer, higher version of yourself, then I am here to assist you. So feel free to message me. Again, visit essenceturner.com, especially the Work With Me tab. Check it out, see if it resonates. And if it does, book your call. All right, I'll talk to you later.